Let's go back to the beginning for you, Joshua, because you're a guy from the state of South Carolina, Tatum, South Carolina. You played your high school ball at Marlboro County High School. Talk about, you obviously went to South Carolina that first year you were a student when the Gamecocks went to the SEC title for the first time in their school's history. So obviously the only time they were gone. But talk about your high school football career. Obviously, you're a running back. You decided to go to South Carolina. What was recruiting like for you? Did you have other offers, other places you could go? Like, what was that process like for you, and why did you choose to attend South Carolina?
I mean, well, for me, it was a little different than a lot of the other athletes, especially guys who were actually recruited. I actually didn't have any offers for football.
Really?
Yeah, I actually didn't have any. But the first thing I did have my parents in my life, so that helped me a lot. But other than that, I had really good grades. Like, I had really good grades. I mean, I was really good at football as well. I didn't play until my senior year. I got injured pretty much every year. It was either a sprained ankle or a pulled hamstring, fractured shoulder, and there was other guys who were good as well in front of me. So I didn't play until my senior year. 5 games into the season, more than 12 yards to carry. But again, I'm 5'6", 140 pounds. So obviously not getting recruited. I mean, you're small. That's how a lot of players are as well. But even though I did get hurt and didn't play the rest of the year, I still got to pick whatever school I wanted to go to just because I had good grades. And that's what a lot of people don't know as well, because that's one route you can take, but it's not a route that's often really looked at, right? That's not a route that's looked at enough, in my opinion. So that's the route that I took, just having really good grades. And the advantage of it is you can kind of pick your school. So like when you're getting recruited, your schools are going to pick you. Obviously, you're going to have some interest just based on strictly location, right? But when it's the other way around, it's like, okay, I can recruit my school now. And that puts you at a huge advantage, just a huge advantage. Even if you're a walk-on or 1-star, 2-star, really doesn't matter. It puts you at a huge advantage.
Right, and I was going to say, too, just to give you some credit as far as being an athlete, because you lettered in high school, track and field, golf, weightlifting, obviously football. You're a golfer. You're a big golfer?
Yeah.
Got Masters week this week. Are you fired up for that? I mean, I'm from the area. I'm from North Augusta, so obviously I'm pumped for it. But yeah, I was like, man, he's a golfer. You love to see that.
Yeah, I just started last week actually.
Yeah.
So started back since college. Yeah.
I feel like, obviously it's different this year. Everybody gets that Masters week itch, though. You know what I mean? You Masters week starts coming up. It's like, oh, I'm going to start playing golf again. You're watching it on TV. Like, I really want to get out there. But you were talking about your grades, man, that you were a good student. You actually studied experimental psychology. What exactly? And I'm assuming, did you graduate that? Did you change your major from that point? Because obviously I'm just going off of your bio on USC's website. But talk about that. I mean, what exactly is experimental psychology? Because I know what psychology is, but experimental psychology, like what does that entail?
It's the same thing. Technically, it's the same thing, but with the experimental psychology, a lot of the studies within it, and a lot of the independent studies are based on that studies itself. So it's based on experiments. So it's just like any type of scientific study. You have to have a type of hypothesis, if then and then what would happen. That's all experimental psychology is. So it's okay, if this happens, then this will happen, and it relates to a psychology precept.
Nice. Yeah, that's interesting for sure. Obviously, again, you were the guy, like you said, with the grades and stuff like that. But you get to USC 2010. I'll ask you, because you walked onto the team in the spring of 2011. What made you decide to do that? Obviously, again, you played football in high school, so you've obviously got a love for the game, and you no doubt have some talent. But what made you decide when you get to Carolina, hey, I'm going to go try out for Steve Spurrier squad?
Well, it didn't start there. Like, I started in 5th grade, actually.
Right.
That's a long time ago. I just didn't know where I was going to go.
Right.
Which one that was going to be, whether it was going to be like golf, track, or football, or what school it was going to be, or just academically speaking. So that's where it really started at from that point. But I was going to go run track, actually, after I got hurt in high school. I was going to go run track at another school, and I went up there, and I just wasn't really feeling it that much. And the last minute, I decided I was going to go to USC, but as far as the preparation to get ready for the football and just decide to walk on, I already knew I was going to be a football athlete, no matter what school I went to. I knew I was good enough to play at whatever school it was. So for me, it was more so picking the school I wanted to go to instead of, just picking the sport. So